Hello everyone, and welcome to this video interview ahead of DAM Europe 2022. In this video, I'm delighted to be joined by the conference chair, Clemency Wright, ahead of the in-person gathering in London this June. Clemency, thank you very much for joining me.
Well, thanks, Millie. It's a pleasure.
Great. So let's jump into the first question, which is what, in your opinion, are the big issues facing digital asset management professionals today?
Well, I think obviously with everything that's been happening, managing remote teams and hybrid ways of working is really important theme that we want to be talking about and learning from at this year's DAM Europe. How can we connect people? How can we make sure that everybody's understanding the same information in the same way? And I think leveraging that technology for a human-focused approach is really important as well, making sure that users feel involved and not alienated by the new technologies that we're using.
Exactly. I think it's clear that content teams who have these processes in place are now able to continue to create, share and distribute content seamlessly, both locally and globally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've been in the DAM and metadata space for 20 odd years now. Can you share one valuable learning you've picked up during your time?
Yeah, well, I think anybody that's seen me or heard me speaking about my field of work, about keywording, I think it's really about how language changes, and it's so important to the world of DAM. So, you know, keeping up with language and making sure that we can understand the terminology that people are using and how that changes, especially around big events like we've been facing recently. So I think everything I do comes back to that and understanding the user's needs in terms of the way they perform their searches. I think is a really big learning lesson to take away from the DAM event.
Great. So what are you most looking forward to about the event in June?
Well, obviously coming back into the room, but actually this will be, although I've attended DAM Europe many times, this will be the first time I get to sit up on the stage, I think, as it were, as chairperson. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm slightly nervous, so be easy with me. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to being in the physical space and actually getting back into the room and feeling the buzz and the activity around that.
Great, we'll definitely do our best to go easy on you.
Thanks very much.
So why is this a must-attend event for DAM professionals and those looking to learn more about DAM technology?
Well, just in my experience over the 5 or 6 years that I've attended, I've just come away with so many really valuable, insightful, interesting life case studies, you know, real life experience, just even the networking aspect. You can pick up so much knowledge. It's an extremely collaborative and informative community. Everybody's very keen to share their ideas, even their processes, how they do things. It's not a closed shop. So I'm really, you know, proud to be part of that community, and I think everybody gets a lot from that because it's very candid, it's very natural, but obviously, you know, some major learnings to bring home at the end of the 2 days.
You're also running a workshop on keywording at the event. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to as well, actually. Keywording workshops are where we try and get people as involved as possible in the keywording process. So I've been doing lots of these over the last couple of years online, and this will be the first one I've done since 2019 in the real world. So it's a hands-on experience for people to come and learn about the process, to ask lots of questions, to get involved, basically, you know, be a keyworder for the hour and learn from each other as well. What we found is different organisations have different challenges and questions around language. So if we can get people talking about that, we can cover quite a lot of ground in a short space of time. So that would be really useful.
That sounds great. I'm really looking forward to it. So
yes.
The last question from me. The event is taking place in London. If you've been to London or if you used to live in London, what's your favourite thing to do in the city?
Yeah, I did used to live in London. About 14 years ago, I was living in London for 12 years, where I did my training. I'm now living in the northeast, so I always like to try and get and see some of the big shows when I'm back down in London. You know, visiting the V&A, for example, where I used to work, is always at the top on my list. But I always recommend a walk along the river as well. London looks beautiful from the South Bank. You get a different perspective of London if you're in the hustle and bustle in the city and you want to get a bit of fresh air and space. And I think some of the architecture around there, around the Barbican, you know, it's probably not as touristy as the major sites, but it's really fascinating. And I just love the architecture around that part of London. And also I'm a bit of a foodie, so if you're a foodie too, you might want to spend an afternoon or a day at Borough Market. Just make sure you take your checkbook. I think we went when I was living in London and spent our whole weekly shop in one trip to Borough Market. But it's amazing, so much variety, something for everybody's tastes, and you know, you can't miss that really.
That's fantastic. I'm a big fan of the multiple cheese stalls at Borough Market.
Amazing. Yeah, who doesn't like cheese? I'm sure some people don't like cheese, but yeah, I'd really recommend that.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, Clemency, for joining me today. And you can hear more from Clemency at Damn Europe on the 22nd and the 23rd of June. Thank you for watching.